Hello, good evening, and welcome to the LFC Daytrippers. This is the Fat Pack 4. I'm Gav, and with me, we're going three at the back. We're going three at the back this week. Emmet and Keith are with me. Shawnee is away on his mid-term break, and he's having a lovely time somewhere in mainland Europe, I think. So best of luck to him. Brighton 2, Liverpool 2 from the Amex today. We're going to discuss that. The lads done a great post-match show, as always. It was Chris and Matt earlier on doing the post-match, so go and check that out as well. That's on YouTube.
It's actually Kevin, Matt.
Sorry, Kevin, Matt. Do you know why I said Chris and Matt? Because
it was supposed to be Chris.
No, because it was Chris that messaged me to say it'd be Kevin, Matt. So that's why I have it wrong. So yeah, wherever them lads were on, they were all deadly. And I watched it earlier. I actually watched the fucking thing and then still said Chris. But no, they went into it in detail. They always do. It's available on YouTube, and if you want to download it, it will be available tomorrow morning to go and do that as well. Keith, how are you?
I'm grand, yeah, I'm good, yeah. Yourself, how? No one ever asks you how you are.
I'm grand. I need a haircut.
Same.
I need a shave.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm gonna get my haircut tomorrow, the next day, and then I usually wait and try to look proper. What?
Do you go in with it type, or does he just know to give it a little blade sharp back and sides? Do you go in
No,
and say,
it's always two back and sides, please, blend it in on the sides, leave about this much on top, because if you leave it too short, it spikes. And I'm not happy. I'm not happy with that at all. So so that's it. Andy Coffin is outraged by this late start, lads. But Andy, we're on 4 minutes now, and you've only come in to say that, so you're late. Stop annoying us. Do you know what I mean?
We're not all perfect. We don't claim to be.
No. Ravishing Rick Rue says, congratulations, Shawnee, on your engagement. That's an in-joke, and I can't see it happening. Rick Rue, I'm being honest with you. But I'll discuss that with you later. Look, I'm grand. I'm great. Keith, you're great. You're on a bit of what buzz are you on this week on music-wise? I thought I seen something earlier from you.
I'm listening to a lot of Sam Cooke at the moment.
Who's that?
Do you not know Sam Cooke?
No.
Sam Cooke is great.
Change is gonna come.
Change is gonna come, yeah. I was born by the river in a little tent. Do you not know it? He sings
who's the fella? Who's the fella that dresses weird now and walks around?
He dresses weird.
Yeah.
Sam Cooke is back from the 60s and all.
Yeah, Sam Cooke died in
Who's the latest
60s.
fella though? Who's the fella that?
Sam Smith.
Yes.
I know it's not him.
Okay.
This could go
by the way,
someplace.
update. I listened to some of your
Did you?
playlist. I love it.
Yeah.
Love
Who'd
it,
you like
yeah.
on it? Bit of Echo and the Bunnymen.
Yeah, just playing randomly in my ear. And then I lashed on the old Alexa in the kitchen, and they're all like, yeah, they're good and all. Even my daughter now, because my daughter usually tells me, oh crap. But no, that was I really like that
Good stuff.
I'm good. You're good. Emma, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, we had our first in regular football. We had our first defeat of the season today, so it was a bit hard to take. I thought it was relying on Liverpool. Mount Marion beat us 3-1.
The Globetrotters got done.
Yeah,
but I was relying on Liverpool then to win. But sure, look, we'll talk about that.
Hannah Kingsley says Queen are the best band. Queen are an awesome band. Stand By Me. Stand By Me.
Well, that's Benny King, but
someone just shouting Stand By Me there. So
there
you go. But there you go. How do I get Keith's playlist? You can't. Exclusive.
Yeah,
they're behind the paywall. And
Spotify, you know what I mean? I don't make them. I don't know. Can you share them? Do you make them public? I don't know. Look up.
I think you can
on Spotify, and you'll see all his playlists. I don't know what one this one's called. I think it's just random.
Alternative.
You just made up.
I do have some good country playlists, and I have good old school rave. I have 80s music of loads of great stuff. Not one type, you know what I mean? Not one particular type.
Before we get into the football, though, Archie Doolan says, hello, Emma, Gavin, Keith. Keith is defo dyeing that beard.
I don't know, me bollocks. It's like a badger on me beard. I'm going through a bit of a crisis with it. I don't know what to be doing. All these little white hairs all over the place. I'm like, for fuck's sake. I would dye it. I was contemplating doing it, but no, I don't. Not yet.
You'd never live it down. We'd never leave you alone if you dyed it.
No. I'll be slaughtered. Absolutely slaughtered.
Yeah. Right, let's get into this. Brighton 2, Liverpool 2. As I said, the lads went in minute by minute probably earlier. So we'll take a few things, few players and whatever else, and we get on our merry way. Emmet, I'm going to come to you first. Matip keeps his place at centre half with Van Dijk. Konate played during the week, played quite well. Trent comes back in at right back. Midfield, he goes with McAllister, Szoboszlai, Elliott. And he's no real choice up front in Diaz, Salah, Nunes. Any of that surprise you? I was surprised with the midfield a little bit.
Yeah, I was surprised with Elliott. I thought you might have seen Gravenberch start. And as the game went on, I think, well, not even as the game went on, I think it was probably apparent from very early that I don't think that tree works. And he changed it at half time. So it's probably obviously apparent to him as well. Elliott's been excellent this season, but I just... Not that he's a super sub, but he's coming into games, but starting with those other two. And look, McAllister didn't have the best of games either. And we all have to remember he's not a six. I know he's playing there and being an out and out six, week in, week out is a whole other ball game. But I wouldn't even say it was a surprise when I first saw the team sheet. I was like, this is grand. But when the game started, it was just like, right, this is not right. I'm not going to go down to playing in second gear to wait for the second half route, but like, why do we keep doing it? Like, just move the ball quick. Surely he says that to them before going out onto the pitch. He doesn't have to wait till half time to tell them. So to me, it's not the game plan. I think it's. I'm going to say it. I'll put it out there, clip it up, whatever. I think it's a game plan to play within ourselves for the first 45, and it came back to bite us today. We got away with it all the other times.
I was surprised Endo didn't start. And the simple reason being, Brighton like to, I was talking to Shawnee and Kev the other night, and I was saying I'd love to come out and just blitz this, see what they have and blitz them and see what happens. And they were like, no, give them the ball. Give them the ball and let them have the ball, because when you go try blitz them and press them hard, they want to play around you, and that's how they get in on you. But when I say blitz, I didn't mean it like that. I meant get it and just start moving it rapid. And if some mistakes come where, final ball, stuff like that, but just put them on, shout a warning out to them. And I thought he would have went with Endo, simply because, just look, when I'm watching Endo, I don't think he's up to the pace yet. I think he takes a bit too long to get the ball out of his feet, but he still plays quite well. He does a lot. When you look at the stats afterwards, interceptions and stuff like that, he's really good. And I would have played him in there with Szoboszlai, and I would have moved McAllister further up the pitch. Keith, like, Emma has this thing where we're walking around ourselves for the first 45, but this is my opinion, I think we tried to be too clever.
Yeah, I think, look, Brighton are a good team, and they're a strange team. Pep Guardiola spoke about them, about their build-up play from the back, and how they use the keeper and their centre-backs to draw you into a press just to play through you. They're a ridiculously awkward team to play against. And I just felt that we didn't put any pressure on them. I would have liked to see us put a bit more pressure on them, because when we do, as the game goes on, we start playing a bit quicker. You can see that we're cutting through them and we're starting to make inroads. But I just expected a better start. I know what Emmet's saying. I like Emmet's theory that we're giving, we're open teams all over the shop. But I don't know. I think there has to be, you have to start quick against teams. You have to be able to keep the ball and move the ball. And I just think
that's what I'm getting at. I think that's our plan, but we don't move it quick. The whole idea is that I saw today was that we were trying to draw them out. We were holding the ball, we were trying to draw them out. But then when they came out, we didn't move it quick enough to get around them or to break that press. And
that's true. Yeah, it was a bit too pedestrian.
And
Salah
kind of going up front with Nunes, and you were nearly in a kind of diamondy kind of thing where Diaz was doing all mad stuff as well. I just think we tried to confuse them and ended up confusing ourselves.
Yeah.
Why, and I understand, we've gone to Brighton and we've been poor the last couple of times we've gone there, FA Cup, I think, and a league game. And we've been poor, we've been outworked, but why didn't we back ourselves there in that 4:45 to go, do you know what? If they're going with this formation, we're going with theirs, and we're going to win our individual battles. Because I'd have backed us to win our individual battles, and then the running power of the likes of Szoboszlai, Trent back in looking for passes, Núñez up front, all that pace, Diaz the same, Salah, I would have backed us then to go and, you know what, we'll go toe to toe with you here, because we haven't, like, when people say we've been poor at Brighton, we've been melogian at Brighton.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like we've gone toe to toe with them and they've outplayed us. It's not like that. It's we've been hesitant. We didn't know whether to stick or twist. If we'd have went in with a system there today to go, we're going to identify where these dangers are. All right, we're gonna funnel them away from them dangers as much as we can, and then we're going to win our battles, and then let them worry about us. But Keith, it didn't feel like that. It felt like we went out and we went, we'll just see how this goes, but we know what's coming from Brighton. Brighton don't play any different way. They just play one way really, really well.
Exactly, and people were trying to point out, Villa slaughtered Brighton. The worst I find, them Brighton always have them little anomaly results and performances in them. But it's not just that we don't play well down there. Like, we struggle against them at Anfield as well. Like, they're a good team, and we seem to be a team that they're comfortable to play against as well, the way we play at the moment over the last maybe 18 months. But we just didn't put enough pressure on them at all today. Now, I didn't think Brighton were great today, to be honest. I was actually a little bit disappointed with them. Not disappointed, didn't want them getting anything. I wanted them getting hopped off, but as a team, I didn't think they were very good. But they just done a number on us like they have done in the past. It feels like a defeat today, and you don't want to feel like a defeat. It's a draw. It's drop points. And people say, and the opportunity with Man City losing and things like that. But ultimately, we were still well placed and well positioned. So we got out of jail in a sense that we didn't perform at our best, although I thought we were better than them. But we just went in there and didn't put and it probably comes back to the team selection. Do you know what I mean? I'm a big Harvey Elliott fan, right? I think he's been excellent. Emmet said it there. I think he's been excellent this season. But I wouldn't have started him at all. I didn't see that coming at all. It was a big surprise that he got the start. I thought it was going to be Gravenberch or Endo. That's who I thought, 100% one of them. And it didn't help us. Now he does well on the goal, but I don't think he impacted the game at all, Harvey, today. And he made us a bit too slow and a bit too stodgy. But we just, from the start, we weren't really piling the pressure on. And McAllister, I'm a huge Alexis McAllister fan, right? You would love him, think he's great. I don't think he's been great for us. Do you know what I mean? I think he's been okay in games, but he certainly hasn't been lighting up his performances haven't been lighting that up. But it's, he's not a number 6, let's be honest. He's played there a couple of times in his career. He's not a number 6. He could be an excellent 6 in a double pivot, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's where I think you should
playmaker, but not as a sole number 6. He can't do it. He's not quick enough. He doesn't anticipate the danger, and it's just not his game. Some players, you can convert a player into a different type of midfielder, but we're looking to take a player whose strengths are passing the ball, creating and attacking, into a defensive player, and it's just going to be a little bit too. It's going to be sloppy until it clicks, and it could click, but I just don't think at the moment it's going to help us out. But today, I just felt that there was no energy. I don't think Szoboszlai starts too well. Harvey, I said, isn't great. Alexis isn't great. And we sort of build from there. We give Brighton chances, you know what I mean? We give them an opportunity. They press really well. Are we going to talk about the match? Are we going to talk about the goals?
Yeah, well, just a couple of things here, because I think, like, just on the Harvey Elliott thing, right? Vase of Flowers says Harvey was ineffectual today. I agree. Brian Murphy says this overrating everything Elliott has done this season is nauseating. Brian, I think that's a bit harsh.
Yeah, I think
he's been really good in games, but I don't think this sort of game suited him. And what I mean by that is that this was always going to be a midfield game for me, right? And when you look at Brighton, you think of like Solly March as being really good for them. Evan Ferguson up front's been really good for them. The winger on the right, I'll remember his name in a minute, was really good today and has been impressive when he's played for them. And then you look at Matoma, and you feel like all these players on the outskirts of the pitch are their main men. But when you actually look at it, it's when their midfield starts moving you around is when these players get their opportunities. And I don't think this sort of game suited Elliott, because I think if we're playing, if we're in the ascendancy going into games, Elliott's absolutely fine, right? Because that tracking in midfield and that being really concentrated in midfield kind of goes out a little bit because teams bypass the midfield. They try hit it and we win it and then Elliott gets it. But when you have to be really disciplined, and I'm not saying he's not disciplined, I just don't think he's as disciplined as other players.
Yeah, he's not naturally disciplined.
Yeah, I think that's where it lets him down. But like we talk about the goal because he's really good for Salah's first goal. We talk about that in a minute. But getting onto the game, I'm going to go straight to the first goal, Emmet, for Brighton. And pick your poison because I think it's a horrible ball by Van Dijk. I think McAllister, his body shape and his anticipation of this is terrible. And then Alisson, I don't know what Alisson is doing. And like Alisson's the best goalkeeper in the world. But when that fella picks it up, why is Alisson stepping to his right? Is he anticipating a true ball?
Right centre back or a ball back to him, I think. But it's all down to not moving the ball quick enough. It's all just too kind of lackadaisical. Yeah. Like, and I know where we've moved off the whole teams. We put out 9 changes during the week, so they're all fucking rested. Like, Brighton put out practically their first side on Thursday as well. So that's what made me think we were going to come out and absolutely just go hell for leather. But I don't think we've actually done that at all this season. But in terms of the goal, it is a bad ball by Van Dijk. It's a calamity of errors. Bad ball by Van Dijk. McAllister's too slow to react.
You see, Van Dijk...
and you can hear man on in the crowd. Like, the Liverpool fans always say man on.
Yeah.
You'll hear them throughout that game today even saying it. But it's just... There's no intensity or oomph about them. It was just sloppy. And I just think they got exactly what they deserved.
Because, like, Van Dijk, for me, is playing that pass, right? What's he expecting from it? Yeah. He's probably expecting it just to be hit back to him. So what are you hitting it for? He's not pulling anyone out of position because there's a player right beside McAllister. So it's not like, there's nobody around McAllister, play it to him, this player gets attracted, give it back to Van Dijk, and Van Dijk can stroll out a defence, right? He's gaining nothing from the pass, right? Because of where players are. McAllister, for me, I know you get that man on shout, but McAllister is, leaning away from the ball as if he's tracking away from the ball when it's coming to him, rather than going, fuck, I need to step into this and play it and just get it back to him.
No, he's waiting.
There's 3 players around him, and Van Dijk should see that. In my opinion, Van Dijk should see they're homing in on him, and you can see.
But he's not going to pull. But see, the thing is,
and he plays a ball into him.
But that close to him, that he's not benefiting by playing the pass. If they were all 6-7 yards away from him, and you play it into him, and he clips it back to you, you might get one of them that's being attracted, and there's a little bit of a gap then for an Elliott or a Szoboszlai to move into the position, 15, 20 yards to the right, and he takes it, and then we can move. But I just couldn't get over the Alisson thing. Because when that player gets that ball, Alisson moves to his right-hand side, as if he's, what, is he anticipating a ball through? Is he? And it's just, I was like, do you know what? We haven't started well here. 1-0 down. And, your man spots it well. I don't even think he hits it properly. Gets loads of power on it, but Alisson's just no man's land a little bit. But our reaction was good, Keith. Like we go down, that's 20 minutes or 20 odd minutes in. But our reaction is good. We don't crumble. The memories of the Amex over the last 2 visits there don't come back. We stay in it. And then we equalise. And it all comes from pressing and then bang, bang, bang. No pressing and win it and play it back. It was just bang, bang, bang. There's good pressing, there's a good ball. I think it's Diaz. And then Elliott leaves it. And Salah scores, and Salah straight to Elliott was like brilliant. You know what I mean? He obviously gave him the call. And like, Keith, we needed that, didn't we? Because I had horrible feelings of going in here at 1-0 at half time, going out to chase it in the second half, and then we're 2-0 down, and it's all fucking over. But it was a good finish in the end. Yeah,
it was a good finish. It was a good goal. I think Darwin actually does really well. I thought Darwin played very well today. I think he's grown. His all-around game, I think is getting better. I think he does well. And yeah, Harvey leaving it, because if you're left-footed and you're coming on to that, usually they take that on themselves. Do you know what I mean? It's not like it's coming on their weak side. It's coming on. He could probably take a strike at it himself, but obviously gets a shout, leaves it, and Mo most slots are in. But we were, at the moment, I'm looking at Liverpool going behind the games, and I always sort of at the moment think, yeah, we've a chance of coming back here. We spoke about this before. You feel you've a chance of clawing it back, but I don't know. There was a sloppiness at the start today that I was a bit like, I don't know. I thought McAllister was really, really poor in the game. He was, whether it's the atmosphere and the going back to Brighton or whatever, but I thought he gave a lot of ball away. I thought he was very sluggish with the ball coming into him, and I just wasn't feeling it. I didn't like Szoboszlai today, and I didn't like Elliot. And when your midfield aren't functioning, you're in trouble. So, when they start moving it quick, and that goal was an example of, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
We cut them open, we get in, and we take the chance. And that was good to see. And I was hoping to see more of it. And I thought we did. We did play well around that period. We were putting them under pressure because Brighton were playing themselves into some pressure as well. We'll get on to that in a second. But, there's always an opportunity there. But they're very good at playing out there. They're very good at beating the press and playing out. But they do invite a lot of that on. And I think Liverpool just were reluctant to engage at the start, and they grew into it. And I just thought the goal was well timed. It was what we needed. And, we were probably, lucky to go in at, well, not go in at 1-1, but to get it back to 1-1 so close to half time. But I felt it was Liverpool were starting to put a bit of pressure and a bit of momentum together at that stage.
The goal comes from, I think it's interesting what Keith says there. He says we didn't really want to engage, and Brighton do want you. Brighton, like when I say Brighton, nearly every team wants you to do it now. Like I watched Arsenal and City today, right? It was an horrendous game of football because most of the time the goalkeepers just stood with their fucking studs on the ball going, is anybody going to come here and try to get this on me so we can start playing? And loads of teams want to do this where they have the confidence in themselves because it's all about getting it to the right centre back, getting it into midfield, getting it back and playing, chipping into midfield, and we beat a press. And they're all doing it. Keith's right when they say they were reluctant to do it. But if you're reluctant to do it, don't do it at all. Liverpool were half doing it.
Yeah.
Right? And Brighton, if you half do it, you're fucking in serious trouble, right? You're in serious trouble. Because you half go and then it's bang, 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 right? Whereas that goal was like, they just, boom, there, we have the trigger, we're in, and Brighton weren't getting it. Do you know the sort of way? And instead,
it was one of the first times we moved the ball quickly.
Kev says it there in the chat. 40 minutes is the first time you moved the ball quick. Yeah. And the thing for me is that brilliant to get the goal, but when they scored, I was like, why aren't we doing that earlier? You know what I mean? Stand off them, let them have it back there, and pick your pieces when you want to do it. But when you pick to go. Right? Because the chances of you being caught are limited. Whereas if you half go and one does and one doesn't, that's when you're in trouble. That's when the whole system breaks up and they pick their spaces. But we make a 1-1 Salah, and then we get on to going 2-1 up. And we're back down to refereeing again here. Right? Because
I thought we'd get away with it this week.
The keeper plays a poor ball. We win it back. Szoboszlai gets it to Nunes. Nunes taps it off to him. Szoboszlai literally has the goal at his mercy, right? Keeper in front of him. It's a goal-scoring opportunity if you go back to the letter of the law, going back to Van Dijk a couple of weeks back at Newcastle. And your man just pulls him to the ground. And doesn't get booked, by the way.
Yeah.
So where are we on this? Because I did see in the Telegram chat earlier someone go, oh, the double jeopardy side of it. Right?
No, letter of the law is it's a red card.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought if you make a genuine attempt for a ball and, the fella goes down, there might be a yellow and a penalty.
That's where the double jeopardy thing comes into it.
But this was just
dragging obstruction.
This was pulling the player to the ground. This was
by his collar. You know what I mean?
So no red card.
And sack it in the world.
No card at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No card. No red card. No yellow card. But a penalty. I'm delighted to go 2-1 up, but I'm sitting there going, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
If Virgil van Dijk's getting done on, I think it was Isaac, outside the box, kicking through him to get the ball, how in the name of fuck is this fella 8 yards from goal with just the keeper to be, and it's not a red card? Could you get your head around that? Because he doesn't get a yellow.
At the time I didn't, because I think I probably, and this, I'll play devil's advocate, he pulls him, he fells him, and then makes an attempt to play the ball. And I think that's probably what they were clouded by. But then you would expect it to be a yellow card. There wasn't even.
Yeah.
And bear in mind that a short pull anywhere, and I'm sick of fucking
Yeah.
saying this, anywhere else on the pitch is a yellow card. So why wasn't that a yellow card today? But when you go and you look at the letter of the law, unless he's making a genuine attempt to play the ball, which he wasn't, he was
No.
dragging him back. He made the attempt after he felled him. It's a red card
Yeah.
and a penalty.
Because if you go back to the Virgil van Dijk one, Virgil van Dijk could offer up the excuse he was making a genuine attempt to play a football and kicked Isaac Forst, right? Gets sent off outside the box, right? And if you go back and look at the audio of that, right, you hear him saying, yeah, he kicks through him. If he doesn't make contact there, the ball's running in front of the player, he'd be through on goal. It's a red card. So how is this not one?
Yeah. They're claiming that he wasn't in control of it, that Szoboszlai was not in a goal scoring opportunity as he didn't have control of the ball. But that's because he's getting his fucking neck dragged out of him by the
Of
fella
course he's
behind
in
him
control.
getting
But
over
of
the
course
ground.
does he have to have his foot on the ball when this happens? Is that in control of the ball?
This is the show that they're coming up with. But look, they're making it up as they go along. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. There's no way. At the very minimum, it's a yellow card. And it's a red card offence. He fucking drags him down. It's a red card. There's no debate about this. It's a fucking red card. But he doesn't even give him a yellow. And I don't even think he gives the penalty for that. I thought it was the Diaz one that he gives the penalty because he doesn't blow it straight away. The play
He
goes
takes a
on.
while. Yeah, he takes a while.
The play goes on. Diaz gets lumped, and then he blows for the penalty. So maybe it was probably just seeing if there was a goal, whether Diaz had scored it or whatever, and you wouldn't have to give it. But
Yeah.
I just thought it was absolutely ridiculous that there was no red card there because he's pulling him, he's dragging him fucking down. And as Emmet said, if that happens anywhere on the pitch, that's a yellow card minimum. It's denying a goal scored an opportunity. It's a red card. There's no way they can say Dunk was coming back on the line, but that's only because
I didn't even
Yeah,
know that it
Dunk,
wasn't a yellow.
Dunk's back. Hold on a minute. Szoboszlai's on the ground before Dunk appears behind the goalkeeper.
Yeah. But he's getting dragged, so it's not even like it's a long thing. You know what I mean? It's a slow fucking drag him down. So that's the only reason why Dunk is getting in. If he's not on his back dragging him, that ball's rolling to Szoboszlai and he's hammering one in from 6 yards out or 7 yards out on a keeper that's floundering. So there's no way that's not a goal scoring opportunity.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether he scores or not. Do you know what I mean?
But he had the full right hand side of the keeper of the goal free. You'll see there's actually a freeze frame of the picture. And he's like, there's about a yard between the keeper and the near post. And then he had the whole other side of the goal gaping. Yeah. And all Szoboszlai is going to do is wrap his left foot around that. And he's both footed.
Yeah. And you see, I'm starting to hear some language out of commentators and stuff as well now where, like, Ben Foster made a comment during the week, saying, they're definitely in these the pockets of these, and that they get told this and that. And he was told he was fucking talking nonsense. But I'm hearing some language out of some commentators now. Peter Drury included on Sky today, where I'm kind of going, why are you saying that? Why is this all coming up now? Anyway, Kevin Sullivan says, had a text from Joe or Albion Obsessed. Joe was on the show plenty of times. Really nice fella. He says after the show today, he was at the game and agreed he got away with that one. Should have been a red card. But like, even if he gives the penalty, right? And we get off this in a minute, but even if he gives the penalty, and I know people are probably bored now and they tell us to move on, but like, this is happening again. Like, you have to fucking keep highlighting this, right? But even if he gives the pen, which he does, right? Why isn't the VAR onto him saying, you might need to come over and look at this because this is not him tackling. He's pulled him to the ground. It's a goal scoring opportunity, right? And then when I watched their game and I went and watched Arsenal's game, the Kovacic thing, right, which is a farce, right? But Peter Drury says, right, after the forced tackle by Kovacic, he says, right, and I'm speaking verbatim now, right, I haven't got the quote, but he more or less says, now remember, the referee only hears what the VAR say directly to the referee, okay? And I was like, what are you saying that for? Yeah. Right? Speak directly to him then. Speak directly to him and say, that's a red card, right? I think you should look at this as a possible red card, right? And then the second one of Kovacic, he says, now you realise the VAR have no say in calling this up to be a second yellow and a red. And I was like, what? Like, what are you fucking talking about? So if a referee doesn't see a tackle that nearly breaks a fella's ankle, The VAR can't turn around and go, you've given a free there, but this is actually a lot more serious than you think. What is going on?
Yeah. But
and
They
this is
can't
all
get him
result.
they can't get him to review it to give a yellow. They can only get him to review it to up a yellow to a red, is what the rule is apparently.
Which is nonsense. But look,
yeah, but he got booked for the one on Odegaard, doesn't he?
He gets booked, and the check is done. They check
can't
that.
say the second one should be another yellow. They cannot. So if let's say he didn't make the first one, and he makes the second one and he gives him a yellow, they can then refer him to say, well, hang on, you might want to have a look at that.
Which one's the one on Odegaard's Achilles? Is that the second one?
That's the fourth one.
That's the
fourth one. And he got booked for
that's
that.
A red in
booked.
That's a red
in itself.
Well,
you see, that's the thing, right? The check is done, right? Why isn't he sent to the monitor?
Yeah.
So last week, right? Jones goes in to play the ball, right? Okay. And he asks them to go to the monitor to look at it, right? But this week, okay, now Jones gets a yellow last week. And he's sent to that monitor to review that. But this week, he gives a yellow and he doesn't send him to the monitor. So you telling me that tackle by Kovacic today is less of a challenge than Jones one on Basuma last week?
Did he even get the ball? Did he get the ball in the Odegaard one? I don't think
he never went near the ball in Odegaard.
Yeah. Whereas Jones
Kovacic is off his feet,
launched into Basuma.
He's off his feet. His foot is extended. His studs are up, and he's above the ankle of Odegaard.
Yeah. But we were told the Jones one was reckless and out of control and endangering an opponent and all this other shit, even though it was caveated with, we know he's going for the ball and he slides over the top of the ball, but he hits the player and it's the damage to the leg, the impact on the leg. Kovacic takes a bleeding chunk out of Odegaard's Achilles in the back of his leg there.
But this is what I'm
saying. What I mean? With nowhere near the ball.
But I've no problem.
How is that not a red card? There's consistency issues in this, and this is the problem.
We've
only had to wait a week to see the Curtis Jones red card last week and another high-profile game to see the different treatment. And I'm not saying this is all treating Man City different to Liverpool.
Oh, yeah.
Inconsistency. Well, I'm thinking that, but I didn't want to say it. But it's the inconsistency of the decisions. We're told 1 week, look, you can't moan about it. We can understand it may have been harsh, but it's the rules. He impacts the player, dangers him. But this week, But the gas thing is, right,
if you look at it, he's cautioned for leaving his feet and catching someone when the ball is gone, right? And the caution is, when you actually look at it, the caution is, I'm giving you a yellow card. And that's a warning to you to not do it again. And then he goes and does it to Rice. Then he does exactly the same thing to Declan Rice. And straight away he blows the whistle. And he realises when he blows the whistle, he starts shaking his hands like, no, I'm not giving a yellow, I'm not giving another yellow. But why isn't he sent to the fucking monitor on the first one? And why isn't there referee today sent to the monitor? And because if it's a goal scoring opportunity, if he stops a goal scoring opportunity, right? If he tries to make a tackle, I'm okay with it. He's trying to make a tackle. Look, he's got caught. He's coming across. He catches him. Yellow card. I've no problem with that. But if you reef a fella down in the box, you pull him down. That's not a genuine attempt. It's a red card. And look, I'm just. I'd like to say I'm sick talking about them, but I'm not. Because I keep fucking talking about them because It's appalling the way it's going. It's absolutely appalling. We were speaking about Liverpool and Spurs last week, and then I think Brentford go away to Forest.
Yeah.
And your man Wisser or Bueno, one of them, gets booted up the arse by the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And nothing. Like they are fucking terrible. Absolutely and utterly terrible. And you hear players or you hear fans of other clubs and going, oh well, it happens to us all. Well, it's happening to you now. It's happening to you now. If Arsenal had lost that game today, I can tell you now, Arsenal fans will be in fucking uproar over that, and still should be.
Yeah, that's the thing. Still should be. Get the win. It doesn't change the fact that it was a blatant ridiculous decision.
Look, we go 2-1 up. I think it's important that you highlight referees. Not only the Liverpool game, the Arsenal game. I just couldn't get over the way he was carrying on. I just really couldn't get.
Who was the ref in that? Oliver.
Oliver was the ref in that one, yeah. And do you know what? It was just. It's one of those. It's one of those things where you're watching every weekend. And I'd love to come away from a Brighton game. And I've come away from it today going, do you know what? Take the point.
Yeah.
Weren't good. Got 2 goals. Ones we conceded. not great. But in fairness, the ones Brighton concede aren't great either.
Yeah.
What we do to Brighton
A
is
draw
what
was
they
a
do
fair
to us.
result,
Do you know what I mean? There's them sort of goals are happening all the time because teams are trying to play out and do different things. But when you go and watch the half-4 game, then it's just a continuation. And they'll have a couple of weeks out now, and we get back to the derby on the 24th or whatever it is of October, and you can't.
Who's
What's going
reffing
to
that? Do
happen?
we know who's reffing that yet? It's one of these absolute shit.
Listen, I'm sure
they're
they'll
because
Brighton
they're
and
all as bad
Manchester
as
lads,
each other.
anyway, I'd say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're all as bad as each other. When you hear the names now, like it's at a stage where they're just an absolute shit show. So it's Michael Oliver is the ref, and John Brooks I think was on VAR, and you're like, these are all but these are two cheeks of the same arse. They're all as bad as each other. Brooks was the ref that Klopp got sent off. We went through all this, didn't we? Brooks was the ref,
but not even that. Like if you look during the week, Sky had Dermot Gallagher on during the week, and Mike Dean. Mike Dean's on Soccer Saturday now, I think, right?
Yeah.
And if you look at both of them, right, they don't have a fucking ounce of honesty in them.
No,
not an ounce of honesty in them. Everything is angled before to make sure that they have a fucking back door to get out of this conversation at all times. And I'm not a big fan of Paul Merson, and I'm not too bad with Stephen Warnock. At times he's good, at times he can be not great.
But they were right.
But they were both right, and they haven't an ounce of honesty in them to turn around and go, that was just appalling, right? And they go, yeah, no, it wasn't great, and blah, 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 blah. Brian Murphy says Dave Owensworth is doing the derby. I wouldn't be fucking surprised, to be honest with you. But look, we go in 2-1 up, and we make the change. Gravenberch comes on. Elliot goes off, and Gravenberch has a great chance to make it 3-1. Emmet, I'll come to you. I felt a bit sorry for him because the ball's whipped across, and I think he's stretching it. It bounces up, and he's trying to cushion it.
Yeah.
He's trying to cushion it without. I think his whole thing is cushion it towards the goal because it's very easy to cushion that sidewards, and he tries to cushion it, hits the bar, and comes back out. And Chris Bracken, one of our WhatsApp group, went, "We really needed that just as a cushion. We really needed it." But look, it is what it is.
Should score it, like we can make excuses and
it should score. But I could see what he was trying to do as well.
Yeah.
But Emmet, it would have been a big goal.
There's somebody else would
and a great move.
He did everything right. You're only supposed to allow the ball to meet your foot, direct it towards the goal. I think it's the bounce up is what kind of obviously deflects it so high. Yeah. But no, look, I thought when he came on, he was really good. I think he has been really good when he's come on. It's a few teething issues, but he always like the way he lets the ball do an awful lot of work. When the ball is passed to him, you see him. He allows the ball to run past him an awful lot rather than taking a touch and then turning, which I think is really good. He made more of an impact, obviously, than Elliot, and I would have loved to see him get the goal, especially after getting one during the week, get his first Premier League goal, and you could see what it meant to him as well as he ran behind the goal. But we looked good in the second half. I don't think we had another move similar to the first goal, and it showed. I thought that just showed how easy it is. Like if I'm watching with the little lad, I'd say, see how easy football is. Football's one of the easiest games to play when you do the right thing and fast. And we just never seem to kick on in the second half like we have done before. But look, Brighton are always dangerous, so you need to be a little bit wary. Matoma especially, like Jesus Christ, is ridiculous sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't really. I felt we didn't probably go for it with both barrels. I thought we definitely at 2-1 we needed the third goal, and there's always a chance of them breaking away, and unfortunately that's what happened.
Yeah, look, they make it 2-2, and you have to look at Andy Robertson here. Now, someone did say Solly March dives to get the free kick and stuff like that, and that's
part of the game, you know what I mean?
That's an angle for another day. But the ball is swung in. Now, Andy Robertson's only excuse here is that he gets a call, but I don't think he does.
No.
He goes in there and he doesn't want to swing with his right foot. He actually goes with his left foot and should just commit. I think Matip is in his head away at Spurs.
Yeah, I agree.
Wrong foot. Do I hear it with me? Wrong foot. Where's it going to go? But he actually goes with his left foot and pulls away from it. If he just keeps extending that left foot, it's hitting him and it's probably going out for a throw or a corner, and you're fine with that. But Keith, Dunk gets in And for some reason, that fella wrecks my fucking head, Lewis
Yeah.
Dunk. He's never done that on me. But it's just, he just has a head, you just go, fuck.
It was that poxy free kick against
Adrian.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. But Keith,
he's a mouth as well, isn't he? He always comes out with shit.
It's not like, this isn't one where you go, that's too easy, or the setup's wrong. The setup's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
The setup's fine if a player just puts his leg out and blocks it. And I don't know whether he thinks, I let this go, the keeper will have it. But Dunk steals in and gets it, and it's 2-2. And straight away, Keith, I'm taking a draw. Straight away, 100%.
Yeah. It was one of them games, I didn't feel Brighton had an equaliser in them. And I thought,
you know what? Play.
What 2-1 up, the Gravenberg chance happens. And that's, as Emmet was saying, that was the first real good move he put up since the first goal. And it's against the run of play, and they scored it, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. But I thought Robertson again, I thought he was quite poor today. But his decision making, I think, is impacted by the Matip one last week, and for some reason, inexcusable, he pulls away. And I don't know how he thinks the keeper has it, like the trajectory of the ball.
No keeper likes a ball in there. They never come for them.
The corridor of uncertainty, Emmet.
Because if it gets a clip on the front post, it's going in at the front post.
Exactly, it doesn't make sense. So,
I think Robertson probably thinks it's close enough to go for the keeper. It just bounces and the keeper takes it. But he should just deal with it and ask questions later. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
the problem was he thought that's the problem. Don't think, just do it. Yeah. Like, come here, and I love Robbo, but if that was Gomez or Trent or anybody else, they'd be getting absolute pelters.
Yeah.
So Robbo deserves pelters. It was a fucking schoolboy error, and he should have put his foot to it. You put your foot to it, and it goes in. Look, last week everybody felt sorry for Matthew because we played so well, and like nobody was criticising him. You try and clear the ball at all costs. If it goes in, it goes in. We deal with it after, but you try and make it an attempt. You can't let the ball run across the 6-yard line like that.
Not a chance.
Yeah, a couple of people mentioned Mo Salah turning his back on it. Kev O'Sullivan reckons that VVD should block out Lewis Dunk. But is a Mo Salah like? Is he on the front post? Is he on the?
He's the wall, isn't he?
He's the wall, isn't he? Yeah.
But like the only one in the wall.
When you're back on it.
Yeah, but like where it's whipped in, you're the defender, and you see the thing is, if you watch any game of football you watch, right? Whether someone has a free kick wide or a corner, you'll always find a player standing on the corner of the 6-yard box. And the reason that there is if a ball gets fizzed in between there and the end line, you're the man that has to deal with it, right? If it's hit in low or head height, you're the first man that has to deal with that. And there's 2 reasons for it. A lot of balls do go in there, and the fact that you're standing there blocks fellas from attacking that space, right? And getting an advantage in it. Robertson is there, and what he should be doing is he should be the man just going, I'm clearing this. And he doesn't. It's his fault.
Yeah.
It's his fault. But look, it's... I
think Matt and Kev spoke about it earlier on as well, about it's the downside when Trent and Robbo switch, because Robbo is a left-footed player. If he had a right foot on him, it's a lot easier for him.
But the thing is, he doesn't go with the right foot.
No, but that's what I'm saying. He goes with his left, but if he had a right foot, he'd be going for it with his right.
He could have stopped it with his left foot. This isn't about left or right foot. This is, I'm putting my leg out there and now I'm not. Just deal with it. And like you said, if it's fizzed in and you put your left foot to it and it ricochets off your left foot and flies in off the bar or something, at least you went to stop it, right? Yeah. Right? Maybe then you argue, just let it come onto your right foot and clear it, but because it's a more natural from that side. But like I said, do it and then we'll deal with the consequences after. But look, I want to talk about where we are at the minute, right? Before we finish up, we've about 10 minutes left. Where we are at the minute, because look, we've gone away to Spurs, we've gone away to Newcastle, we've gone away to Chelsea, we've gone away to Brighton. I think there are 4 away games, isn't it? I can't even remember our home games. Our home games just seem to be we just win and we move on. Villa, Bournemouth. Who else have we won? West Ham.
West Ham, yeah.
Who else? Who else do we have at home? Don't know.
Wolves.
Can't remember. Anyway,
Wolves. Wolves away.
No, Wolves away.
away.
Have we played 5 away and 3 at home then? I think we have.
We played, Bournemouth at home, we played Villa at home, and we played West Ham at home.
And the other 5 have been away.
The rest have been away.
Yeah.
And tricky aways, difficult aways.
Yeah. Yeah, but look, where we are at the minute, right? So we currently sit 3 points off the top of the table. We're a point off City, I think. Spurs have had a good start. I don't think they're over impressive, but they've had a good start. That game could have went either way today. I think a draw would have been a fair result between Arsenal and City. Still would have left us, 3 points off the top. But where we are, because I look at the results we've had, or the games we've had, and what we have coming up. So just to put it into context, the league games we have now between now and the City game, right, is home to Everton, home to Forest, away to Luton, home to Brentford. They're our next 4 league games, and then we play City, right? Overall, right, when you look at it, we've drawn today, right? We've drawn away at Chelsea, opening day of the season. What can you do, right? We've lost the Spurs, but we know what happened around that. And we've won all the other games. We've won 5, right? Drawn 2, lost 1, and the one we've lost, massively controversial. I think we've had a really, really good. I think we've had a really good start to the season, a tough one as well when you look at the away games in particular. But you see people saying, this. We're 3 off this, and they're ahead of us and stuff like that. Like Kev says, 7 points better off than last season. Same games played, and we're still bedding in the midfield. We're in a good spot. Keith, where do you feel we are?
Played harder games than we did last season as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think we're placed very well, to be honest. Like, I was delighted Arsenal got the win today, because I look at Man City as the ones you're chasing, even when they're in a downtime, because they're the ones that'll put 15, 16, 20 game winning run together. They're the ones that you chase. Arsenal proved last season that they had a good year, but when it came down to it, they didn't have the onions for the fight at the end of the season. And Spurs, they're just living on the good nature that Postecoglou has, and reading some stuff there. Apparently, people in Australia might know better. When it starts going tits up for him, he starts getting a bit scaldy as well. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. But that's not to rubbish Arsenal. I just think Man City are the ones with the muscle memory of doing these runs. And Liverpool, if you're staying close to them, it'd be great to get ahead of them. Do you know what I mean? 1 point in the last 2 weeks when, if my auntie had fucking wheels, she'd have been a bike. But if you get 6 points there, you're starting to put a bit of latent pressure on them, and you're getting ahead of them. But look, at the end of the day, we're well placed, as was said, better points off this year than last, and we're getting through games. People will say, but we haven't been great in games. Well, Spurs have been shite in games. Do you know what I mean? Spurs took a 96-minute winner against us with 9 men to get the win there, playing against 10 men for 70 minutes or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's not like, and then against Sheffield United, they took 2 goals in injury time as well, I think, to beat them. So Spurs have been lucky, but the narrative will be different for them. Arsenal, they've been all right. They've been the same as last year, and Man City certainly haven't been the same as last year. So look, where Liverpool are, once you're in the touching distance of that group, you're in a good position, in my opinion. Now, the only worry for me is I don't like the ever on a bit of form, and this shy 12:30 on the back of an international break does my head in. So I think that's a big one coming up. I think it really is a big one. I think we have to go in and absolutely murder ball them, and if we do that, then we can put the wins in the other games hopefully together. And after that run of 4, you'll have a much better idea of how your season is shaping up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I know that's obvious to say, but if you can get the wins in that, after the tough start we've had, then you'll see, right, are we in a position to attack here, or are we not?
City are missing Rodri, and they're missing, through suspension, De Bruyne is out. Yeah. I just think from today's game, when I watched it, Arsenal looked extremely nervous in the game. Their keeper didn't do them any favours. But City, for me, 12 months ago, would have just pounced on them and hurt them badly, and they didn't. They actually didn't. They sat off them and sat off them and sat off them more, the sort of way. And like, I'll put it this way, I was watching that today going, I'd love Liverpool to be in City's position right now with that Arsenal defence. They weren't all over the shop. They just looked mad nervy. They did not assure themselves. There was an awful lot of diagonal balls they were hitting to try to get out, and I was looking going, we'd press the life out of them. and we would make them make mistakes and we'd hurt them. You know, I don't think anyone stands out as massively impressive this season. I think Liverpool are a bit of a, you know, work in progress. I think Arsenal are trying to find their way because what they done last season, they don't have too many new names in there. Rice, Havertz, you know, and Havertz hasn't like set the world on fire. And Rice was very, very quiet today in that game for me. They're trying to find their way. Spurs are just on riding away for me a little bit. But when I look at them, like if we'd have kept 11 men on that pitch against Spurs, we'd have annihilated them. And I don't care anyone says.
I think 10 men and we'd have as well.
Well, yeah, and you know, and then you look at other teams around, like Brighton are up there, West Ham, Villa. It's all very early days, but I think we're placed quite well. And with those 4 games coming, like Everton 12:30, everyone just gets that bit of nerves about them. But if we go out and play our game, we beat Everton. Like Everton are fucking awful. They're awful. I'm telling you, they're shite. You know what I mean? They've 7 points from 8 games. Do you know what I mean? And them games include Wolves, Fulham, Luton at home. They haven't taken a point in any of them. Wolves, Fulham, and Luton at home. They've won away at Brentford, right? And Brentford were Malogin. They beat Bournemouth yesterday, who look all over the place, and they got a point to Sheffield United. That's all they have.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
You know, I get the whole 12:30.
Wins breeds wins, and it's a derby, and it's one of. But we should treat them with the disrespect and the disdain they deserve. I hope we do. Do you know what I mean? I hope we don't sort of. You know, I know those days are sort of gone, but I hope we just go out and put a strong team out and smash them. Just go at them.
Well, we'll have
Jota back. South American lads that'll be travelling as well. We're going to have the same issue that we had at the fucking.
I understand that, but we should have Jota back, and we should have Gakpo hopefully back as well. So we'll be okay.
Even Jota will be nice, you know, to have an option off the bench, an attacking option, because I think we did miss that today, not having somebody.
Yeah. Jonathan is bang on. Actually, Jonathan, you know what? You're right. He says, let's not get in our own heads about a 12:30 kickoff. Just go and deal with it. And that's what we need to do. We need to go and deal with it. It's home, it's Anfield, and it's a derby. There's no excuses. No excuses whatsoever. Andy says, controversial show from Gav. I'm telling you, they're shy. They are. They're fucking desperate. I'm telling you. You know, and Bournemouth deserve to be relegated for what they put out as performance against them on Saturday. Sorry. Glenn Parsons says Luton beat Everton. If we can't beat them, forget it. Like, Luton are appalling. Like, they're desperate. But Emma, where do you see us? Where do you?
No,
like, there's been a lot going on in the last week, but overall, like, just looking at it on paper, 16 points from 8 games, 5 of them away from home. We've had a couple of mad decisions against us, or 17 points. Sorry, you take your 3 points off the top, and a lot's happened.
I'm the same as Keith. I'm not, and this is no disrespect to. Well, it's disrespect to Tottenham. They're not going to be there. Arsenal probably will be there or thereabouts. I think Tottenham have been top of the league at this stage for the last couple of seasons. After about 4 or 5 games, they've been there, and they all start piping up. I'm happy where we are, kind of just tucked in behind, on the rail, tucked in behind Man City, a point behind them. 1 result from the top of the league. And that's where you want to be. Tougher games, I think, than what we had in the first 8 last season. 7 points better off. Some difficult away trips already out of the way. Now I'm happy. The only downside for me is that we've only gained a point on City when they've lost 6 in the last 2 games.
Yeah, I
get
that.
The only downside.
I get that, but like, you have to look at the circumstances we're in them.
No, I get that as well.
You know, the sort of way. And you have to look at the game City have had. Like, that game City had is probably the first proper game they've had this season, is it? Newcastle at home, I think they had their first home game this season. Yeah. But Newcastle were all over the shop.
Somebody on the Anfield rap said that, I think after their 4 games, it was like there's only been 3 promoted teams, but Man City have somehow managed to play 4 of them. They've played woeful teams to begin the season. So.
Yeah, and you know what?
And losing to Wolves.
Yeah, but and the thing about watching them today was, it all felt a bit pedestrian from them. Look, I was expecting, like, Bernardo Silva's a fantastic footballer, right? That lad is what's his name in the middle of the park? He's only young fella.
Rico Lewis.
Yeah, looks a really good player.
Quality.
Kovacic, I don't know what he's seeing in him, and I don't know why he's there, because he's not Gundogan. He's nowhere near him. Do you know
No.
what I mean?
He's a
a bit
good
more
player,
of a-
but he's not. Yeah, you're right. He's not going
and
wrong.
then you look,
Different
and then
player.
I looked and I went, Alvarez, Foden, Haaland, brilliant. You know what I mean? Because Foden will run at you. Alvarez is so clever, and Haaland is Haaland. But they just look like, I hate to say it, they looked like they were trying to be too clever. Even when Arsenal were struggling, you could see City going, oh, well, when we have the ball, Bernardo Silva is the deepest player. And when we don't have it, Bernardo Silva is going to go up and press. And we're going to have this fella Lewis at further back and kind of going, he's doing an awful lot of fucking switching there for no reason. You know, and it was a bit like, you know, like Neville was saying in the first couple of minutes, like, oh, we put the team up on the screen there and we thought it was going to be this and it's completely different. And you're kind of going, yeah, because that's what he does. Do you know what I mean? It's like a fucking, you know, fucking dick measuring competition between the two of them, him and Arteta, as to who can kind of change something the most, you know, the sort of way. But like, Liverpool have frailties, most definitely. They're definitely trying to do something in midfield for me. They're trying to find a rhythm. You know, it's been thrown a little bit by the events of the last week with players being suspended and injured and stuff like that. But I'm kind of looking at it going, we're in as good a position as anybody here when you stack all the cards up, I think. And that's not me being over optimistic. It's just, where are we all right now? And it's not, I'm not looking at Liverpool on 17 and say City on 18 and going, City are miles ahead of us.
Yeah.
Because there's something in there with City where there's just a spark or something missing from them at times. It slows down an awful lot. And it might be the fact they're playing Vardy all left back, and you know that.
I'd be starting Alvarez over Haaland while KDB is out. I think he offers very, very little, and unless they have the quarterback,
Yeah.
there's no point in having Haaland. I'd be starting out. Alvarez is unbelievable player, much more of a team player.
Yeah.
He'll impact the game more, and I know that's ridiculous for a
100%.
player who scores fucking 50 goals. That's impacting games.
I'm
in the
leading
actual
up to
game
an
play.
absolute ridiculous show here.
Love
I'd
it.
still prefer to have Nunes over Haaland.
Love
The
it.
amount,
Like that.
the amount he contributes to the team.
That, along with your theory that Liverpool just don't bother
telling
playing
you.
the first half.
Flip it up, whatever the fuck you want.
Love that. Love that point.
Mad stuff. Anyway, listen, we're gonna leg it in a minute. But this is the last ever Fatback 4. The last one. It's the last ever Fatback 4. There's only 3 of us. People will be going, what? No, look, we're not going anywhere. We're just doing a bit of a revamp on the whole thing. We're gonna be back tomorrow, winners and losers. And then we're going to take a couple of days off. It might be 2, 3, it might be 5. We don't know. I'm sure Kev and Chris will want to get their Premier League show in during the week, which that'd be absolutely fine if they want to do that. But we're going to change things up over the international break. You're going to see a revamp of this channel. Quite a big one. But the same people will be here. The same crack will be here. You just won't be getting a Fatback 4 on a Sunday night. You'll still be getting a Sunday show. It just won't be called the Fatback 4 anymore. And the shows won't be all different names and different things. We're just going to go with a name that we want. And we're changing the name. We are changing the name of the podcast. And people will be like, what? Again. And there's a reason for it, right? And this is the reason for it. We done a show a couple of weeks ago. Now, this has been in our mind a little while, but we done a show a couple of weeks ago where we done 10 years of the Trippers, right? And it kind of cemented the decision to change things a little bit, because the LFC Daytrippers is brilliant, right? And people that have contributed to it is brilliant, right? But it kind of belongs in its own sort of place and its own sort of realm, and it has its own sort of legacy, right? And we're absolutely fine with that. But my thinking on it, and I've ran it by Keith, and I've ran it by Sean, and I've ran it by others, Emmet as well. And my kind of thinking on it is that Emmet, Keith, not so much Shawnee. Shawnee's around a long time, but you know, Matt, Chris, Kev, anyone that contributes to this, I think they need to have something that's theirs, not something that belongs to someone else and they just happen to appear in it, or you know, the legacy of it is somebody else and they just appear in it. They have to have their own thing that they can stand beside and go, yeah, I was there on day one when we started this. And that's why we're doing it. We're going to change the name. We're going to change not so much how we do the shows, but how we present the shows and how we present it across our social media. Now, you will see the changes coming. You don't have to do anything. It's going to be the same place. Go to YouTube, it's the same place. Go to your downloads, it's the same place. Instagram is just going to change the name and the logo. Twitter the same. All these places, they're all going to change, but they're all going to be the same. If you get me, it's not like, oh fuck, what do I have to do to my audio feed, or where will I find you on Twitter? It's not going to be like that, right? It's just something fresh for the people that contribute to it and the people that may contribute in the future. Because I think people come onto this channel and they go, I am going onto the Daytrippers and that's them and I'm coming on. I want people to come on and feel like it's theirs, right? And I'm not saying Emmet or Keith or anybody's ever come on and went, I don't feel like this is mine, because I just think they're weird if they've done that. But you know, that sort of way, it's just something where I think they can pin it as theirs, and I think they deserve that. So like, the Trippers has been brilliant, and we'll still be here every week. We'll still be here on Sundays, Mondays, you know. We'll still be here as much as we possibly can, doing all the same types of shows, same sort of people, just under a new name. So with the Fatback 4, look, there's so many people that have contributed to the Fatback 4, because it's kind of become a bit of a, you know, everyone kind of knows it. So like Keith, Emmet, Shawnee, Matt, Ian, that were on it going back years, Grizz, that was on it going back, you know, Kev, Chris, there's loads of people then that have stood in at different times. But them guys I mentioned were kind of the regulars that were on throughout the years, and you know, all you can say to them is thanks to all of them for their contribution towards the Fatback 4 over the last, I want to say, 6 years. But now it's going to change, and when it changes, it won't make a massive difference to you that are watching or listening. It'll just be slightly different on the eye. That's all it'll be, and slightly different in your ear, because you won't hear the LFC Daytrippers or the Fatback 4. You'll hear a new name, and yeah, that's where we're going to go. So I'm expecting people to give out fuck over it, but what can I do? What can I do? Keith, anything else before we go?
No, a bit emotional, you know. The last ever Fatback 4. It's a pity Shawnee isn't here. You know what I mean? It's because you're a lot of people have done it. You know, you've mentioned them all. You've mentioned the lads that have done it previously, but for the last while, it's been the 4 of us doing it, and I enjoy it. I love the Fatback 4. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy this new rebrand, Gav, to be honest with you. I think we should keep it as it is.
But don't pull your hair out over it.
No, listen, you're right. I've been a huge fan of the Daytrippers for a long, long time, and you know, I wouldn't, when you done the 10 years of the Trippers, I didn't feel like that was my place to go on and talk about that, because there's so many great fellas who done that show for years and years, and they're all great lads. And I'd rather listen to them, because to me, they're the sort of lads that started the Daytrippers and went through the years as Daytrippers and all that. And look, I've been doing it for a few years myself, but I just always associate them lads with the old ways and the old days. And like I said, I loved them, thought they were great. It's exciting to just change it up and to do something different, whilst still being the same. Let's be honest, we're not reinventing the wheel here. We're just going to change a few bits and pieces. So yeah, it's an emotional one. Like I said, not having Shawnee. But look, we'll be back next week doing the same thing, and just a different name and a different brand. So yeah, it's exciting to see how it goes. Like a gender reveal, is it? When we
are we getting uniforms?
Yeah.
No, we're not getting anything like that.
Union.
We're not getting anything like that. We're just like genuinely. I do. I want the people that contribute now, and the people that may come to contribute in the future to be able to put their name to it. You know what I mean? Instead of being, oh, I'm just going on there and I'm part of something that's there, and that's not to forget what's gone on over the last 10 years of the Daytrippers, and people never forget some of the stuff that's gone on, and probably won't forget the name, and I'll probably end up fucking calling it the Daytrippers when I shouldn't. But look, it's something different, it's something fresh, and it means that it opens us up to new ideas, new people. If we want to bring new people on, new ideas, it doesn't restrict us in the shows we've had and the way we've named them and we've done different things. We're going to go away from that. You know what I mean? Every show is just going to be called the new name and what the show is about. It's going to be very to the point, you know, that sort of way. And it's going to be very easy to find. So that's where we are on it. The No Phil Casey podcast. Phil will still be on. Still be on. Antwango's trying to wind the buzz up. He says, Gav just sacked off Shawnee. No. Well, I only realised today that this would be the last one, and then Johnny was away. So that's where it was. But I'm sure Shawnee will have a say on it next week. Emmet, anything else before we go?
No. I just echo everything that Keith says, although he made me feel like shit for going on to the 10-year show. But what was I going to say to you?
Yeah, cheeky.
No, at the end of an era, did Bono get you a Vespa or that? No.
No.
Yeah, no, exciting. Yeah, can't wait. We're obviously just going to have more weekends away to make up more mad stories to talk about when you have your 10-year anniversary of the new name. So
yeah. So as I said, look, if you're watching, if you're Antwango says I hate new people, but I know loads of people like that actually. But if you're watching, you know what I mean, it's not going to change. If you're listening, you don't have to go and search it somewhere else. It's all going to be on the same thing. I've looked this up. I've spoken to the people that look after our audio stuff, and they're like, yeah, cool, rebrand, absolutely fine. Just let us know what you're doing, and nothing will move. So that's absolutely fine. Dylan O'Rourke says he can't wait to see how Fabrizio breaks the new name. We won't be giving it to him anyway.
Wouldn't give him nothing.
Won't give him the steam on me piss. But yeah, it's going to be a change visually, and you know, the name you hear at the start of the show when you're listening is going to be changed. Someone asked about Twitch there as well. I'd love to go on to Twitch, but I haven't a fucking clue how it works. It's like you set up shows and you can do shows, but then they're not there anymore. It's weird. So I'll have to do that. I genuinely am looking into a way of people to watch our shows while they're being recorded and interact, but not on YouTube. You know me reasons behind that. I am looking into it, but I will not change until I know 100% certain I can do that. But I am looking into it, I promise. But it'll be as easy as coming onto YouTube. That's the way we want to do it. Twitch might be the answer, but genuinely Twitch is like, it's another fucking universe. It's mad. Yeah. It's like I don't know. It's like a different dimension. I don't know what goes on in there. Maybe I should sit down and look into it. But look, isn't Twitch for gaming? It is for gaming, but you can stream anything on it. Like, you can stream anything you want on it. I've had a look into it before and just went, that's way too weird. I'm out of here. So we may look into that as well. We'll see. But tomorrow you will have winners and losers. We might have a Premier League show during the week, but in the background, this work will be done to bring you the new brand and the new shows and the new style of shows coming from next week. So nobody leave us, relax. We're not gonna, we're not gonna be reading out bleeding decades of the rosary or at the start of shows, or
don't unsubscribe, anything like that.
Do you know what we should read out actually before we go? Do you know what people love? Do you know the what you call them in the paper when people die?
The obituaries,
death notices.
Jesus, people love them.
Especially people in
going, I know you're man and all, don't they?
Yeah.
People are mad into that. Yeah, like, check it out. Like, have a think of yourself there. I can guarantee, at least 2 or 3 people that constantly talk about people that have died.
Yeah, is that the angle we're going with here?
No. We're not going to be reading out we're not going to be reading out the births, deaths, and marriages at the end of it either. Like, you know what I mean? But we could.
Real nothing now.
We'll see. Right, look, that has been the Fatback 4, the last ever Fatback 4 from the LFC Daytrippers. We will be back tomorrow with the winners and losers. We should be back with a Premier League show during the week, as I said. And from next Sunday, it won't be the Daytrippers and it won't be the Fatback 4, but it'll still be us talking shy over and out.